2 years ago, you win the championship. Last year ends in a little bit of disappointment. The old saying in sports is only one team gets to win their last game of the season. Yeah. You were close, though. Which one stuck with you longer?
I would say the loss, for sure. It's way more motivating. We talk about that as a coaching staff a lot, that winning is phenomenal. Nothing feels like it, but it does seem to pass quickly. Like a week later, you're like, oh, okay, so what next? But the loss, you're constantly, it feels like there's regret and you're sort of wondering what you could have done different. And that to me is the biggest difference. Winning, you're not wondering what you could have done different because you did everything right. So you're not replaying stuff as much. And the loss really stings and stays with you, I think.
You and I were talking before we hit the air about the unified schedule and no more divisions, and everybody's going to play each other in the East. Finally, the pockets of the East Coast, let's be honest, and that don't know, and other parts of Canada that don't know maybe about the Colorado Mammoth, they're going to learn about them now because now you're going to travel and play everybody. Are you excited for this opportunity, even though it'll maybe mean some longer flights?
For sure. I don't think it's going to make a big difference for us because we fly to every game that we play anyway. So, and it should create more parity travel-wise for sure, especially in the wintertime, which our season is. There's so many flights that get delayed and so much stuff that's out of our control. So to have that sort of uniform across the league, that part's great. And we've played Saskatchewan and Calgary, I don't know how many times in the last 4 years, like 4 times a season. And it'll be nice to play different teams that way. Yeah, I'm excited for it.
What really goes into trying to create a rivalry? I guess I'll get more even to the point. Is there a rivalry with Buffalo? You guys, 2 games have separated each of you from being back-to-back champions, right? So is there a rivalry there? What creates rivalries?
I would say the last 2 years created it with Buffalo. Maybe even the fact that the Mammoth beat them in 2006 in the championship as well. So maybe that sort of started it. I would say the last 2 years, but up until the last 2 years, I didn't feel like we had a rivalry with Buffalo because we hardly ever played them. So the last 2 years, I don't know how we can, I actually feel like this new format will create less rivalries because most of the teams were only playing once. So I don't know how you have a rivalry with a team that you only play once. I think it'll give fans an opportunity to see players that they don't get to see, that they've never got to see. So that part should be great for the fans. But what's really, there's always this debate whether, like, who's better, the East or the West. And this way we're gonna really find out, I think. And even within the West, we could play against a team that's below us in the standings, but we always struggle with them because stylistically, we just don't match up as well with them. And we're going to see that, I think, some of the East teams. Like, it's going to be interesting where maybe you look at their record and you're like, we should handle them well, but they may not be a good match for us. So I don't know. I'm sort of curious to see how this goes.